start by welcoming you to the City of Warman regular meeting of council on this Monday, February 10th, 2020. I call this meeting to order. Any announcements? Okay, can I get a motion to approve the agenda? Councillor Peterson?
I'd like to make the motion to approve the agenda for the February 10th, 2020 regular meeting of council.
Seconder? Councillor Jones? I actually have an addition that I'd like to add. You got an email about a letter of support for REDA, the Regional Economic Development, and it's targeted to against the sector grant application. So I'd like to add that under, let's see, I think we'll under correspondence at the end.
Just a question on that?
Yes.
She's saying that was sent out to us?
Yeah, I don't have it.
I think it just sent out to
Okay.
a few here. I'll put it up on the screen for correspondence for everybody to read though.
Okay. Yeah, you know, because like certainly this year, look, I don't recall, I would say actually received it.
Okay, if nobody received it, then can we wait on that then?
They need it right away, I think, or we're.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah, I'm like,
Okay.
you know.
Okay, it's a letter of support for a grant.
Have time to,
Right.
you know, to go through it, but
Yeah, I
certainly
can
this year,
provide,
you can provide a background to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd be good with that. Do you need a motion for that?
Yeah.
For that agenda? I'd like to make the motion to include the late breaking correspondence to be added to the agenda.
And a seconder for that? Councillor Tooley? Okay, all approval of the agenda as amended.
The amendment.
Okay, approved.
No, the original motion.
And approval for the agenda.
Yes.
Approved. Okay. Okay, let's move on to, we're already down to round table. Oh, minutes?
Yeah, we do actually.
Okay. Motion for minutes, please. Councillor Tooley?
I'll make the motion to adopt the regular meeting of council minutes from the January 27th, 2020 meeting as read.
Seconder for that? Councillor Shram? Any questions from the minutes? All in favor? Approved. We'll go down to round table. We'll start with Councillor Shram.
I have nothing.
Okay.
I have nothing as well.
Okay.
nothing.
And Councillor Tooley?
Nothing really significant, just glad to have the opportunity to participate in the most recent Saskatchewan Municipalities of Saskatchewan Conference in Regina last week. That's it.
Okay.
No, sounds like we're gonna set a record here, so get away with that.
And Councillor Beck?
Yeah, so, you know, certainly this year, you know, with the conference, we started off as SUMA, the Saskatchewan Urban Municipalities Association, with our rebranding work that was done. This year, our name, you know, as recommended, was to be changed to the Municipalities of Saskatchewan. You know, certainly this year, like, there was a number of stakeholder meetings that were certainly had. It was, you know, certainly unveiled there as to what our logo was going to look like, and also our name. This year, a lot of the correspondence that we had gotten back, or you know, certainly with public feedback from New North, was that they were actually really happy with the name change. But this year, they actually had, I guess, internally petitioned to have the SUMA name changed a number of years ago. So this year, obviously, they were very happy with the rebranding that was done, and that. So yeah, so this year they certainly feel a little more included and reflected in that. So certainly along the lines of reconciliation, you know, there's certainly some positive aspects to that. Obviously, with any name change and logo, you know, branding, like there's, you know, a certain amount of adoration towards, you know, what was. So, you know, certainly this year, the SUMA Act will actually be coming for the Legislative Assembly, you know, which would then include the name change. It is important to note that this that SUMA Act is actually over 50 years old. So, you know, certainly this year, the faces of municipalities have certainly changed. There's been a lot of, legislative, changes that have happened, obviously, like the introduction of cannabis and, things like that in terms of, like us, kind of, or, like urban municipalities, setting protocols around that kind of thing. So, certainly this year, the change that was made and certainly introduced at our conference. We did have 929 delegates, certainly attend this particular event for this year. It was not record-setting, but with this year, certainly for the fourth, let's say the fourth year of a election term, the numbers actually did stand up quite high. So all around a very good turnout from that. Obviously a number of really important education sessions happened. I myself had the opportunity to chair the environmental meeting there with the Ministry of Environment. So Justin Duncan was certainly on hand, and this year, like that session went full 90 minutes with question after question, just in terms of environmental questions, and then one on Sask Power, because he is also the minister for that. And so there again, just really good, solid questions on the whole forum. So there was an email sent out, I think it was actually earlier today, if not yesterday, about providing feedback, let's say to the events that have happened. So certainly as a council, if you can provide our feedback, that there would be certainly appreciated for the 116th happening next year in Saskatoon. So so this year, obviously, that was certainly like a large time away there in Regina. I certainly thank all of council for attending. Bob Smith, yourself, also making the time to to come out there and whatnot. So Warman was very well represented at this. So yes, great job, and hopefully we'll have the opportunity to I'll be there at the 116th.
Great. Thank you for that. And thank you for all you did running as part of the board of directors. So appreciate it from all of us for sure. I know we didn't get to see a lot of you because of that. We were busy making sure it all worked out well. A couple things that I have. I had a chance to go to the reconciliation signing, which Russ Moraski, he was at Suma, and then he was out there too in One Arrow. So we had over 20 people sign. It was a nice event, very nice event. And we were signing to committing to a path of reconciliation. And that's the Prairie Rivers Reconciliation Committee. So it's really about being a part of the solution in a lot of ways. And if you have a chance to read the document, I'm seeing it online, but Cheryl would have a copy. I don't have a copy of it myself. Each organization ended up with a copy. Talking about Minister Morgan, actually, I went to his session on protection. It was very interesting to see all the challenges around and some of the things that are happening throughout the province. Then I also saw him at the Home Builders Awards night. He was there too. So I had a little bit more open conversation with him and talked about some of the stuff that really tied to what's happening in the whole market, home builders market. There's a lot more optimism than I got from the previous I went to session on the home builders. So they're really looking forward to 2020. Evermore Homes, where they're based out of Warman, that's Roger and Tamara Bell. They were there, they were nominated, they didn't win, but I had a chance to chat with them too. But it was a real night of celebration and excellence that I appreciated being a part of, and I was taking place with Mayor Spence on that one. And sat with Charlie Clark too, Mayor Clark in Saskatoon, and his wife, first time meeting his wife, and she's a law professor actually in Saskatoon. So it was very good conversation about some of the stuff that's happening there, and just that synergy that's happening between us and Saskatoon right now and P4G. So it was a good night. I also have a request for going to the SREDA, and I don't know if anybody else was signing up. Aaron had sent out a request that people were wanting to go to the SREDA conference on March the 6th, and I know I responded. Is there anyone else?
I responded, but I can't.
Okay. Anybody else that can go?
I did respond, and there again, I cannot
Right.
attend.
I can't go
Okay.
ahead. Yeah, I responded as well.
So if I could get a motion for myself to go, if I'm the only one, I guess, for March March 6th, and it's a cost of $175, and that's in Saskatoon.
What day is the 6th?
It's Friday, March 6th.
Friday, yeah.
Councillor Tooley, and Secretary for that, Councillor Peterson. Any questions for that? Okay, all in favor? Okay, carried. And, okay, we'll move down. Oh, we also need a motion for Councillor Beck. I can get somebody to make that. Councillor Jones?
Make the motion for Councillor Richard Beck to attend Saskatchewan Waste Reduction Council's 2020 Waste ReForum Annual Convention from April 1st to the 3rd in Regina, Saskatchewan, at a cost of $450.
Okay, seconder for that. Councillor Shram, any questions? Okay, all in favor? Carried. And we will, okay, we'll go to the SREDA one here. Or the regional.
Where was it going here?
So we'll read it up on the screen. We have some time to chat with this. It's Target Sector Support Initiative Cost Sharing Grant Application.
Do you want a bit of background on
Yeah,
that?
sure.
So, the province had asked municipalities to come up with a framework for regional economic development. That when basically it's if companies approach the province, then how are we ready for that? Come up with some kind of framework. They wanted to do it on a regional basis. So if a large corporation come in, how's the, let's say, Warman and the RM working together to attract a business. So anyway, they wanted a framework for the whole province of how that could work out. As a result, the City Mayor's Caucus set up a terms of reference and established a working committee to develop the framework. And part of this was the establishment of a regional economic development forum to be held on May 28th and 29th. And as a result of that, there were some expenditures, and because it's regional cooperation, they felt that they would like to put forward an application for the, what do they call it, the Targeted Sector Support Financing or fund that the province has established. There's, I think, 1.5 million out of the revenue sharing grants this year that they kept back for regional cooperation. And so this, but what we require is a letter of support for that application, or that's what we're requesting, so that for the conference that'll be held on May 28th and 29th in Regina. So that's the purpose of Her Worship's email earlier today, or I guess later today, that sent out the application and wanted the letters of support. So what we'd be looking for is a resolution to for the City of Warman to support the application for the TSS fund for this project. In the, I think, part
How much money are they asking of us?
$100,000. Oh, what? No money for us, just a letter of support. They're asking for $100,000 to put this on, and part of it is just to get everybody, like all the municipalities in Saskatchewan to attend a forum to kind of brainstorm of how do we do this.
So Bob, just to clarify,
Yep.
like this is the, let's say the working group, this is the economic forum of the working group from the City Mayor's Caucus.
Correct.
That is actually working on this, that
Yes.
correct? So I take it that obviously all of the city mayors are in support,
Yes.
Because that we've heard in the correspondence from Cheryl then?
Yes.
So there's no money asked out of this. This is just a
It's
letter of
just-
support of the TSS
Yeah. So
grant application.
if we get the funding, we get the funding. If not, then we'll have to.
Right, so it would allow us to apply for it.
Yeah.
So does anybody want to make that motion for the targeted?
Yes, Chair, I would like to make a motion that Warman City Council support the recommendation brought forward from the, from the City Mayor's Caucus to dedicate funds to the, to basically acquire funds from the targeted sector support for this initiative. Yeah.
Everybody's clear with that? Okay, seconder? Councillor Tooley? Any more discussion with this? Okay, all in favor? Carried. Okay, so that's a letter, and then hopefully we get some funds out of this is hopefully the end result of that. We'll move down to correspondence. Oh, okay, yes.
Like this is part of correspondence.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else from the correspondence? The RCMP media release? The regional partner letter and invoice? It's interesting how they put the spin on that of how much economic gain from your investment, but. Sama? Oh, go ahead.
So just a question on the SREDA regional partner letter. So this year, our invoice shows as a flat fee, but is that based on population? Do you know? Or, like I was just wondering how they come out with the valuation on it.
Yeah, I think that they established an amount, and I think that Saskatoon pays, I can't remember, but the RM, Martinsville, and Warman all pay the same flat fee. So I think they came out with a fee for Hosler and some other people who were in there, and then I think it's how it came about.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I guess just to expand on this. I mean, obviously, like this does give us a seat at the table at the P4G manual level and that kind of thing, whatever. So obviously, being a part of this is obviously important. I was just wanting to know how the figures came out. So, thank you.
Okay. Sama, 2020?
Just one.
Yes, read one.
That comment, does this affect, bring us a seat at the table with P4G?
No.
That's what I wanted to make that clear.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
No, SREDA's actually they're a little bit different role in it. Their advisor role but they were a part of the initiation of it, but not.
I just wanted to make sure that
okay,
that was clear.
That's clear. Yeah, fair enough. SAMA 2020, that's a large fund too.
Yeah, and certainly this year, like they're gonna kind of know where the, say like where the funding break, or let's say like the cost breakdown on that is, if it's let's say per property.
It is. Yeah. So in this levy, you'll see the quantity of 4685, and then it's 2246 now. It used to be 2202 per unit. That's the increase that they talked about in the letter. But yeah, it's based on the amount of properties that you have in your community times a figure.
We're gonna need to have people start sharing 3 and 4 families to a property now.
So just a point of clarification. So is there a breaking point where it makes sense to get our own besides SAMA, like to an area? I
think there is, but I think we're quite a ways away from that, because you look at Moose Jaw and others that have tried and have gone back.
Okay.
But probably when you get the size of Saskatoon, Regina, it does start paying for it. I know that some of the problems that I think Moose Jaw had when they went back to SAMA was just a result of recruiting these well-paid, high, fairly expensive assessors to.
Okay. Right.
But so it would make more sense if you can have actually a department where if you only have one individual, it's tough to.
Okay. The waste reform 2020 registration. And that's just for information there, and I'd already gone through Councillor Beck's. Okay, so if I could get a motion
file.
File it? Yes, Councillor Beck?
Yes, I'd like to make the motion to file the following correspondence that was received by City Council on Monday, February 10th, 2020, being the RCMP media release, January 27th through February 3rd, 2020, the SAMA 2020 municipal invoice, the SREDA regional partners letter and invoice, and the Waste ReForum 2020 registration email, and the targeted sector support that we added to the agenda.
Okay, seconder for that. Councillor Jones, questions? All in favor? Carried. Okay, we'll move down to other reports. Motion, turbidity, yes.
I'll make the motion to file the January 2020 turbidity report as presented to council.
Seconder? Councillor Beck, questions? All those in favor? Carried. And it looks like the Housing Authority Board, you want to make that motion? Councillor Shram?
I move to approve the Warman Housing Authority Board appointments as follows. Rebecca Malo, initial appointment. Noah Carroll, initial appointment. And Erdman Giesbrecht, subsequential appointment.
Seconder for that motion. Councillor Peterson, discussion? Yes.
Yeah, well, this year, look, I would just like to say, thank you to our community members. Obviously, this year we have the entire list of the board there. Certainly for their participation on this board and certainly representing Warman. Certainly at that board table. So thank you to them.
Other comments?
Actually, is that the entire board?
Well,
In the
like in
directory, I believe it is.
Okay.
Yeah, they have it in the directory.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's one of the attachments.
Package. So, yeah, because that lists the chairperson, the vice chair, secretary, right on through to directors and stuff. So.
Okay, anything else? Okay, all in favor? Carried. Move down to accounts. Councillor Peterson?
I'd like to make the motion to approve the city accounts as presented by checks numbered 22-130 to 22-318 for the total amount of $714,069.29, and the payroll vouchers numbered 10233 to 10299 in the amount of $94,031.30 for February 10th, 2020.
Seconder? Councillor Shram, questions? All in favor? Carried. Motion to adjourn. Councillor Jones, seconder? Sorry.
Make the motion to adjourn the February 10th, 2020 regular meeting of council.
Seconder? Councillor Tooley? Questions? Okay, all in favor? Carried.
There's a bright star shining above us as the fire crackles along. Our horses, they stand in the shadow as the crickets sing our love song. Oh, heaven is one ride away. Heaven is one ride away. So open the gate, Lord, you know you can't wait. So open the gate, Lord, you know you can't wait, 'cause heaven is one right away. Oh, heaven is one right away. Heaven is one right away. So open the gate, Lord, you know you can't wait, 'cause heaven is one right away. So throw off your saddle,